All right, as you know, yesterday we worked on law of cosines. Sorry, law of sines. So today that means we're doing law of cosines. Basically, you use law of cosines when you can't use law of sines. Law of sines is quicker, probably a tad bit easier, but there's sometimes you can't use it. You have to have an opposite side and angle to use law of sines. If you don't have that, if you have SAS or SSS, you have to use law of cosines. And here's the law of cosines, how it's going to work. Remember, the lowercase letters are the sides, capital letters the angle. So it starts with A squared is B squared plus C squared minus 2BC times cosine of angle A. B squared is A squared plus C squared. So basically it starts and ends with the same letter. All the letters in the middle are the same. Starts and ends with C. You got A's and B's in here. Yeah, and that's how you roll with it. Okay, there's law of cosines. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for A or B or C, which one you use. If you're looking for angle A, use this one. Angle B, that one. Angle C, this one. And I'm going to show you 2 or 3 examples. Hopefully that does it for you. All right, here's the first one. This is side, side, side. Okay, so we don't know an angle. My advice is let's find the biggest angle first. So it's opposite the biggest side. So it's C. So I'm going to do C squared, which is 12 squared, equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine big C. All right, now to get that C, I'm going to move everything over. First thing I'm moving over is those 2 things. So I'm getting 12 squared minus 5 squared minus 8 squared. And that would equal this still. Negative 2 times 5 times 8 cosine C. Now, obviously negative 2 times 5 times 8 is negative 80 because 5 times 8 is 40 times 2 is 80. So cosine C is going to be 12 squared minus 5 squared minus 8 squared all over negative 80. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my calculator, punch that in. When I punch that in, I got negative 0.6875. And because I'm looking for an angle, I need big C. I'm going to do this inverse cosine, second cosine of that number, 6875. And it gives me 133.4 degrees. That's around nearest degrees. I'm going to say 133 degrees. That's C. Now, the only great thing about law of cosines is you just have to do it once. Like once you do that, now I can go back to using law of sines. So I'm going to do sine of 133, which I just found, over side C, which is 12. And I'm going to try to find B. So I'm doing sine B over 8. All right, now I'm right back where I was yesterday. I'm going to cross multiply, do all the math, and find out what B is. Okay, when I punch all of it in, I get 29 degrees. So there's B. Angle C I know is 133, so I'm going to subtract those both from 180 to get the last angle. And I get 18, which means angle A is 18. And I'm going to kind of double check here, make sure it makes sense. Angle A should be the smallest one because it's opposite the smallest side. B should be next. C should be largest. It works perfect. Okay, and there it is. So had the law of cosines one time, and then you can go back to using law of sines again. I'm going to show you one more of these. Okay, here's the other case. It says, it gives you the numbers up there. Angle A is 46.5. So I'm going to draw it. Angle A, we'll put A right here. Say that's 46.5 degrees. And that means over here, this is side A. Let's make this big B over here, which means that's 10.5. C is up here, side C is 18. If you notice, we can't do law of sines because we have no opposites here. So I've got angle A, so I need to find side A first. That's how we're going to roll. So we're going to do A squared equals B squared, 10.5 squared, plus C squared minus 2BC cosine A, not A, I know what A is, cosine 46.5. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch all that in and see what I get. Okay, one thing about this, when I punch it in, I'm getting this number here. I'm getting like 174.05 and even, a bigger decimal than that. But that's A squared. You need A. So I'm going to take the square root of that answer on my calculator, and I get 13.2. So that's little a right there, 13.2. Right, now, that's all the sides. Now, again, now that I've got that one, that's all I have to do. I can use law of sines now to find the other angles. So I have sine of 46.5 degrees over the side I just found, 13.2, over sine of, let's go C. Let's find the bigger angle first every time. C over 18. And I'm going to just cross multiply like I've been doing and figure that one out. I'm going 18 times sine 46.5, sorry about me talking through this, and divide that by 13.2. Then I got to hit second sign, because I look for the angle, second sign of that answer, and it gives me 81.6 degrees. That's C. So once I know that angle, I can find angle B by just subtracting those two angles from 180. So 180 minus 46.5 minus 81.6, and I get 51.9 degrees for angle B. So there's the whole triangle. Okay, so still gonna use law of sines, but law of cosines once to kind of get you started. Last thing today. This is called Heron's formula. It's one of the best formulas ever. Your geometry teacher should have taught it to you, but they didn't because they got to teach you other stuff. But this is so good. It says the area of a triangle is given by this. This is how you find the area of any triangle. You do S times S minus A times S minus B times S minus C. Now the key is, what is S? S is called the semi-perimeter, and it's basically half the perimeter. The semi-perimeter is just like semicircle is half a circle. Semi-perimeter is half the perimeter. And the other three things are sides. So I'm basically going to take half the perimeter, find it first, do half the perimeter minus one side, half the perimeter minus the other side, half minus the other side, and take the square root. It's awesome. It's much quicker than doing areas a lot of different ways that you learned before, like 1/2 BH and that kind of stuff. It's so quick. Okay, let's try one. It says the area of a triangle whose sides is 1, 2, and 2. I'm not even going to draw it. I got to find the semi-perimeter first. All right, the semi-perimeter is half the perimeter. So if I add up all the sides, that gives me 5. So the semi-perimeter is half of that, which is 5.5 halves, or better yet, 2.5. So we'll go with 2.5. So to find the area, I'm going to do a big square root. Semi-perimeter comes first. Then you do semi-perimeter minus each side. All right, so I'm doing 2.5 minus 1 is 1.5. 2.5 minus 2 is 0.5. 2.5 minus 2, also 0.5. I'm just going to take my calculator, make a big square root, and just punch all those in. 2.5 times 1.5 times 0.5 times 0.5. Hit enter. The area of that triangle will be 0.968 area. So pretty cool there. Doesn't have anything to do with law of cosines, but it is a great way to do area. It's called Heron's formula. Pretty awesome. Okay, hope that wasn't too bad. Law of cosines. You may want to go back to the video. If you didn't write those formulas down, I'd write those down somewhere. Make sure you have them. Also write down Heron's formula so you have it. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow.